Hi, and welcome to Sunday with Mike. I'm John Young, and I'm filling in for Mike today. Mike will be back next week with another great episode in the Sunday with Mike series. On today's show, we're going to be looking at, is your DJ website ready for Google version 2018? We'll be looking at a device that will allow you to hook up your favorite handheld microphone to your computer to do your wedding DJ podcast. And finally, we'll be doing the Wedding MBA recap from my perspective, as we were just there this past week. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. SEO and our whole Google ranking has been a real struggle for a lot of DJ businesses as you're trying to get your website to show up closer to the first page of search results on Google and Yahoo and the different search engines out there. Well, this past month or so, Google has been really introducing some new thoughts of what they're going to be doing in 2018. The idea of people using desktop computers is, of course, going down. Where our numbers have been going down the last few years, we've been able to track that on our websites. Next year, what Google's going to be doing is really getting away from the whole desktop websites. They're going to be really kind of punishing those who just have desktop websites, and they're going to be looking for something that is mobile friendly, that is basically responsive to different devices. It could be responsive so it can fit the cell phone, the TV, the iPad, what have you, and of course being a website that will work on a computer also. But as more people go to these mobile devices, Google wants you to have your website designed so that it can be delivered to these devices quickly and easily. So they're going to be doing a couple of different things. The first thing you're going to notice in 2018 with Google is they're going to be really focusing on their AMP. The AMP is their accelerated mobile pages. And what this is are website pages that are designed to be responsive to those different mobile devices. In 2016, they introduced this concept where they could go through and they would see pages that were accelerated for mobile content in essence and ready to go. They would give them some preferential treatment. In 2017, those became some of the top results when you did a search. In 2018, those are going to become pretty much the only results you're going to see, especially on the first page, are pages that are set up with a full mobile responsiveness in-house, so they're ready to go. So if your website page is not ready, it won't have a high AMP score, and it won't even be shown on the first page results in the Google 2018 world. The next page that's going to affect us as mobile DJs is the whole secure website part. In 2018, Google basically is going to be giving a higher rate or ranking because you have an HTTPS over just an HTTP. If you don't have a secure connection with your website, Google will be punishing that. Right now, they're giving it a slight additional ranking, maybe about a 1% ranking increase because you have that secure website. In 2018, they're going to be pushing that to a much larger percent of your ranking. So if you do not have a secure website, learn how to do that, figure that out, and get ready for Google version 2018. And finally, the last change that we're going to see as mobile DJs is that Google is going to be implementing more things to really filter out spam websites. They've got a very aggressive system right now that's going to try to locate in real time spam websites and take them down or block them. In 2018, they're going to really be pushing more of this to have more relevant content linkage going on with the Google world. Because of that, we're going to find that some of our web pages might be starting to get labeled and picked off as a spam page. So this is something we're going to have to really be careful with and making sure that we're having exclusive quality content on our website that isn't a copy of a copy of a copy without link backs and such. They're going to have some different guidelines. And this is something we'll have to kind of watch and find out what Google's going to be doing with this in 2018. But the idea of being able to, in real time, find and eliminate spam pages across the internet is going to be a big push for Google in 2018. So that'll give you a couple of ideas of some things Google's going to be changing, and I'm sure there's a lot more because they don't come out with everything that they're going to be doing, but we'll be giving you updates throughout the year on the DJ and TV channels as they start to roll out more of these things on how you can avoid some problems and take advantage of some of the new things that are coming out with Google in 2018. We'll be right back.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
One of the big things that was talked about at Wedding MBA was the idea of having quality content and specifically doing video content. For your wedding DJ business, having something like a podcast, a video podcast, disseminating information in short videos is going to become a big thing in 2017 and 18 and 19. So in order to do that, you need to have a good quality sound. And you can do that on the expensive side and go get an expensive board like we have here at the studio and the expensive microphones, or you can go get yourself your favorite handheld microphone and use that with your computer, get yourself hooked up, webcam, and off you go. One of the devices that I really like, especially for mobile applications when we're doing our remote studio, is from Shure. This is the Shure X2U. This is an XLR to USB signal adapter. The X2U features plug-and-play USB connectivity, meaning that for most devices, you can plug it in and it's recognized by the computer. And if it isn't, there's some drivers on the PC side where you can grab those. But on Mac, you plug it in and it's going to be found as an audio device, and you can go in and adjust a little bit and off you go. It also will give you phantom power, which is really kind of nice with some of the higher-end microphones, and even some of the studio microphones need phantom power. This little device will give you that phantom power, so you'll be able to run a variety of different microphones. One feature I really like is it gives you the ability to have an input line and the output line. So you're able to go and listen to what's going on. You could use this device for doing a Skype call or a Zoom call, like we use them a lot. It's just got a lot of functionality in a small package. And if you are using it for a Skype call or Zoom call, having zero latency is so important. And this little device will give you basically real-time audio. So if you're syncing it up with your video, it's going to be in sync and ready to go. We'll put a link in the description below so you can go and check out the Shure X2U audio adapter here that'll hook up from your favorite microphone to your computer. We'll be right back. In our final segment, we're going to be looking at a recap of Wedding MBA that just happened in Las Vegas this past week. Now, if you're not familiar, Mike's talked about Wedding MBA and many others have, but Wedding MBA basically is anyone in the wedding industry. They all come together for this massive convention down in Las Vegas. This year's show had over 3,700 people from a variety of different businesses. You had DJs, you had officiants, you had wedding planners, different coordinators, decorators, photo booth operators, basically anyone who does anything with the wedding world. They probably had a track for you. They had 6 to 8 different sessions going on throughout the day on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with a lot of great content, business, how to do makeup and hair and how to set up your cameras and get better pictures. Oh, there was just so much content. And it was kind of neat as the DJ, I could bounce from this track and I could go over and catch that and over here. So there were numerous times that some of our friends from the DJ industry who were speaking had not only some DJs in the room, but maybe they had some photographers in the room, or they had some videographers, or a couple of coordinators I saw in there, decorators, some venue owners were actually in during one of Scott Favor's presentations. So it's just a wide variety of people from the wedding industry all coming together for Wedding MBA. This event is it isn't the cheapest event out there, but when you figure your dollar and your return on your investment from the education you get, it's a great value. I was surprised at the tidbits and little gold nuggets that I picked up from this particular event, because not only could I listen to DJs, which some of the DJs you would hear them speaking at different DJ events, but I got to go and listen to some people, specifically Sonny Ganguly from Wedding Wire. Sonny was up with a couple of presentations, and I got to sit through 2 of his 3. And some of the things that he was sharing as he was looking into the crystal ball was really kind of eye-opening and kind of exciting to be able to hear him talk about what's going to be coming down the line here in 2018 and 2019, which some of the things actually was kind of neat because we talked about those in some of our other DJ and TV shows. So it's kind of cool to be able to see that Sonny is seeing some of the same things that we've been talking about on our shows. The exhibit space at Wedding MBA is a little bit different than it is at a DJ convention. DJ convention, we've got a lot of speakers and gear and it's noisy and da-da-da-da-da. At Wedding MBA, you've got a lot of business-to-business things going on where they're selling out of a smaller booth because they're probably selling planning information, or there may be business coaching. The number of business coaches I saw at this year's Wedding MBA was incredible. It surprised me. I expected maybe one or two, but I bet there was well over a dozen people who were offering business services. And that was out of maybe 150 to 200 booth spaces that were on the show floor. The two largest are the Knot and Wedding Wire. Those were the two big booth spaces where they had a lot of traffic coming in and out. And they were doing different things, signing people up, of course, for their services, their advertising services. And then they had photo booth there, and they had giving away shirts and hoodies and different things. But they just had a really cool space that people could come in and kind of lounge, hang out, take a picture, chat with friends. That was what you get at the Knot and the Wedding Wire booths this year. It was really kind of a neat experience. Speaking of the two of them, usually they have their own parties during these shows. Well, this year they basically came together and had one massive party because they wanted to basically combine their efforts because of the whole Sunday night thing. And what they were doing is for every person who came through the door, there was no more RSVP, which typically you would have to do at these events. Everyone who came through the door, they donated $10 towards the recovery efforts for those families and such affected by the shooting on Sunday night. And I believe they raised close to $17,000 just from the at the door the people coming through. So kudos to the Knot and Wedding Wire for stepping up, putting on a great party for the attendees, and then using that to give back to those who were affected by the shooting on Sunday night in Las Vegas. So one of the last questions that I usually get when I'm talking about different conventions, people ask, are you going to go again? Would you go again? With this particular convention, I definitely would go again. First off, fall Las Vegas weather is usually pretty nice. If you take out the shooting on Sunday night, it was a fabulous week. That did kind of bring the spirits down just a little bit, but not as much as you'd think. And I'm not going to go too much in that because I'm sure everyone's talked about it 10 times from Sunday. But the event is just such a great learning experience, and an opportunity to network with people outside of the DJ industry is just incredibly valuable. So I was talking to officiates, I was talking to coordinators and some makeup and hair design people, just people who are going through the same struggles that we are on a regular daily basis within the wedding industry. It's kind of refreshing to hear that, but it's also interesting to hear how they sometimes will fix some of these things. A couple of the seminars had some Q&A time where people would fill in a question and hand it up to the front, and then the presenter would go through and answer the questions. When Alan Berg was doing this, he actually turned some of these questions back to the crowd to hear how people in the audience would respond to those. And these were, I don't think any of those questions came from DJs, but they were questions that some of the same things we have going on and that go wrong in our businesses. And it was interesting to hear people, photographers, how they handle that. And they handle it just in many ways like we do. Or maybe there was a wedding coordinator and she's struggling with something, and another wedding coordinator answered the question. And it's like, wow, that's a great way to handle that. And I have similar things so you're learning, and you're learning a lot. This is one of those events where I didn't go out and hang out and party all night because the next day seminars are starting at either 8 or 9 in the morning, and I wanted to be there because I wanted to learn to help it grow my business. We'll be right back. Well, that's the show for this week. If you haven't done so already, please go down and give us a thumbs up on the video. We appreciate you watching each and every week. Down below, you'll also find the link for the full playlist of Sunday with Mike videos. So go down there, check that out, and catch up on any of the shows you happen to miss in the last 52. This is episode 53, but that you have missed in the first 52 episodes with the Sunday with Mike shows. Mike will be back next week. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll catch you next time. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News.